News begins with breaking news.
I'm not the one who thinks I'm above the law. I'm the one that followed the law.
Breaking news tonight, former President Trump spoke for the first time since his arraignment, calling it evil and a heinous abuse of power. Good evening, I'm Amanda Hall.
And I'm Nicole Gabe in for Russ McCaskey. Now, Donald Trump is going to bed right before his birthday, facing 37 felony counts, accusing him of mishandling classified documents. Now, this is the first time the Department of Justice has ever charged a former president with a crime like this, and he was quick to point that out and blame President Biden.
Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty, right in the middle of a presidential election in which he is losing very badly.
Let's bring in our Wink News anchor, Russ McCaskey, who joins us live now from Miami. And Russ, the former president had a lot to say about history.
That he did, Nicole. There were virtually no restrictions placed on him when he was in court earlier today, meaning no gag order. So he's free to talk about this case as much as he wants to. And it seems like ever since he left the courthouse here in Miami this afternoon, that's pretty much all he's been doing. His most recent comments came in New Jersey at his golf course while he was talking to supporters and backers there.
Charging a former president of the United States under the Espionage Act of 1917 wasn't meant for this. An act for a crime so heinous that only the death penalty would do, and threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers, which just about every other president has done, is one of the most outrageous and vicious legal theories ever put forward in an American court of law.
Now, former President Trump said that he felt he was entitled to have those records under the Presidential Records Act. He also said that he was in negotiations about those records and documents when his home here in Florida was raided.
Many people have asked me why I had these boxes. Why did you want them? The answer, in addition to having every right under the Presidential Records Act, is that these boxes were containing all types of personal belongings, many, many things, shirts and shoes and everything.
Well, meantime, earlier today, there was a lot of business to attend to at the federal courthouse here in Miami. It happened up on the 13th floor of the building behind me here. And it was there that the president learned about the indictment, and it's where he pleaded not guilty. Former President Donald Trump stopped at a Miami area restaurant following his arraignment on felony charges.
We have a country that's got nothing but problems. We're a nation in decline, and then they do this stuff.
Earlier, a lawyer for the former president entered a plea of not guilty to all 37 counts. Trump is accused of illegally retaining classified documents, storing them at his Mar-a-Lago home, and conspiring to hide them from the government after it subpoenaed him to get them back.
What we are witnessing today is the blatant and unapologetic weaponization of the criminal justice system.
We want Trump! We want Trump!
Supporters and protesters brought their opinions of the case.
This whole country has been brainwashed.
Sad day in America.
While this is one of several investigations into Trump, this is the first time the Justice Department has brought charges against a former president. In announcing the indictment Friday, Special Counsel Jack Smith maintained the case is not politically motivated.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Trump, who is the current frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination, has seen his poll numbers go up since his indictment. And so while the legal problems continue to mount for the former president, candidate Donald Trump continues on the campaign trail where he is still the leader for the GOP nomination. Live tonight in Miami, Russ McCaskey, Wink News.
All right, thank you very much, Russ. Local leaders here also weighed in on Mr. Trump's arraignment. Former U.S. Congressman Francis Rooney is one leader who still has a lot of questions, from why did the former president take so many documents to what information was in them. But for one thing, he says it's not good for the country.
It's a historic day for a lot of bad reasons, and it's very unfortunate. This is a negative thing, and it shows more clearly the chaos and the division that's ripping our country apart. And we desperately need leaders that can draw this country back together.
Congressman Rooney mentioned there are plenty of candidates he'd rather see run the country besides Donald Trump, one of them being Governor DeSantis.
And for more on former President Trump's arraignment and any subsequent updates, head over to winknews.com.